I just wanted to quickly reiterate something that I said in my last video about interracial marriages. I do not have a problem personally with a grown woman marrying whomever she wants to a grown man. I have absolutely no problem with that. It's not even a consideration in my book. It doesn't even faze me. I'm sure I've been friends with interracial couples. You have to understand, I meet thousands upon thousands of people. So literally I can't pay attention to single people. Now, when I make my videos and I talk about blacks, I'm talking about the entire diaspora of blacks in the United States, across the world, what have you. When I talk about whites, I'm talking about the entire group in the United States, Canada, Europe, what have you, right? So people saying, well, that's not true because I have a cousin that, no, I'm not talking about your cousin. I'm not talking about your friend. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the entire group and the data that the United States collects on black people. Yes, black people, the United States collects data on you, and they read it, and various people use it to their advantage. The only problem I ever have, and it's not really a problem, it's something that I feel sorry about, that I feel sadness for, and that is the hippie, go-lucky black woman and the white man, and they're in love. Yeah, that's fine. That's perfectly okay. But as soon as you have a child, that's where the sadness begins. And I said the highest rate of suicide amongst the black population, and remember, half black means black. It's all the way up to 1/8 black means black. An octoroon is considered black in the United States. So a half black person is considered black. The highest rate of suicide amongst black people is the biracial woman. Biracial kids are not accepted by pure blacks nor pure whites. They are bullied, if we want to put a stupid word to it, and I hate the word bully. It's so juvenile to me. But they are bullied all throughout their life. And this becomes ingrained in them. And even when they become adults, this is still ingrained in them, even if they were a part of the corporate world. Soon enough, they develop a complex. This follows them throughout their life. And the biracial woman commits suicide. I would hope that it would go down, but it has not since the 40s, 50s, whatever, right? There was recently a video called Light Girls. There was one by Dark Girls, and now there's one about Light Girls. And they had a segment called Passing, and they were talking about black people who pass for white. And the black woman was called by her black mama because the father was dying on his deathbed or was about to die, and they wanted her to come to the funeral. And she said, I cannot come to your funeral. I'm white now. I cannot be seen with you because I'm white now. Now, this is going back some time, but there are people who still pass for white, right? If they can get away with it. Why? Because they have to do something. They're not going to be accepted by blacks. Now, there's whole weird societies of black people that only accept biracial black people. And I'm not talking about that. That is a very tiny subset of the black population. It's so tiny. It's insignificant. It's not statistically significant. The majority of black people, the entirety of the group, does not accept biracial people, nor do white people. So I just wanted to reiterate that this is what I'm talking about. You can love your white man all you want to. I'm fine with that. I'm okay. I don't care. It's the children, and I'm always looking to the future and telling you what the future holds. And I'm talking about the immediate future. I'm not talking about the la la land of a libertarian paradise where everybody's free and they can do whatever they want. That's something in the distant future. I'm talking about right now. If you have children in this day and age, in this era, they will have a hard time. And trust me, there are black men looking for black women. And if you just so happen to run into black men who don't like you, just keep looking. It's a numbers game. And ask yourself, are you all that you can be if you're really looking for a husband, right? If you're going to let's call a spade. Are you all that you can be? There's people who say, oh, well, these are the black women that are rejected by black men. Okay, what's wrong with the black woman? What's wrong with her? What's wrong with you that black men are rejecting you? It can't be just all black men, because black people are not homogenous. We range from the unintelligent to the super genius, the poor to the super rich. We have all types of personalities, right? We may all understand each other, and that's something that we share that white people just do not share. I'm sorry, but a skinhead white guy does not understand a goth or a candy raver. It doesn't even compute. But in the black community, the candy raver completely knows where the thug or the hoodlum is coming from, and also where the rich black guy is coming from. We understand each other. Other races don't have this understanding. We have a common history that at the lowest common denominator we can always default to and communicate with each other. And that's actually something that white people fear about us. It's okay for you to date and marry a white guy all you want to. I'm talking about my only contention is the children, and understand that this is the reality. I'm not talking about the daffodils and butterfly fields and sun is shining, and I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the reality of bringing up your children biracial in this day and age. You can hide your head in the sand and say, oh, well, I just really hate racism and blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'm trying to actually do away with it. But first you have to know where the problems are. This is a problem. And I'm speaking to black women because I assume you care about your children. If you don't care about your children, go ahead and date and have all the biracial babies on. When they commit suicide, I don't want you crying because I told you so. It's a big number. It is statistically significant that it is a statistic. Biracial people commit suicide the most out of all black people. Black people don't commit suicide. So this number is like, wow, that cannot be a coincidence. There is something to it. And I'm not saying you need to go out and try and change the world racially. I'm trying to make you aware of a problem. Have all the condom and birth control sex with white people all you want to. But when it comes down to marriage and you talk about children, I want you to pause just for a second and say, well, Shikama did say that this was a statistic. Maybe I should sit down and think about this because it's not my life.